I'm now on to day 2 of this job. You can see where I've had to put a strip in the middle there, which wasn't ideal, but it is what it is. I don't particularly like having to do that. It should have been right from the start, but it wasn't, so we have to work with what we've got. It's crucial to get the radius right here. At the minute that the new panel is sticking up slightly on there, but what I can do when I weld that, I can get a hammer, get the hammer shaft, and on each weld just push it in slightly to make it join up. Let's turn the light on a minute. The underneath I've drilled a series of holes, and that's where it's going to be welded. I've got to clamp that up and then weld through each hole as and when I do it. All inside of both panels were painted in red oxide primer, and I can wax oil them after we've finished. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I'm welding this up. The welder that I've got is not specifically for welding car bodies. In fact, it does clearly say or show a picture not for cars. Currently I've got it set on, got the power on number 3, and I've got the wire feed about there. That's, again, I've not really planned that. It's probably a bit too high, but the fact that it is high, you do get a nice good joint there, but what you do have to watch is that you don't blow through like I have done there. That was on a slightly higher power. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a section like from there to there, just showing how I do the weld. So first things first, you want to make sure that your panels are lined up, whereas here we've got a bit of a overlap. So I'm going to use an adjustment tool just to bring that down slightly. Maybe take the clamp off like that. Oh no, I can't because it's welded there. So that was a good idea. I may have to just tickle that with the grinder just a second. So I'm going to get a small hammer, and then I can push that in like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get myself all kitted up. I can move everything out of the way, turn that on. You really want 2 gloves on you, because if this thing spits back then it's going to hurt. Let's put the glove like it did yesterday. Look, you can just see that on the end of my finger there. Maybe not, but it's for not wearing gloves. So I'm just going to get my welder nice and square, push it into position, and then just do a blob like that. When you come to actually welding it, and you want to do a series of continuous blobs like that, really needs more work yet. So I've sort of worked with that a bit to try and line it up a bit. Still not perfect. I'm just going to try and do a run just so I can demonstrate how exactly I would weld something of this thickness. It's very thin, probably no thicker than 1 mil. So turn it around. So I'm just going to pick up off the last spot and then just do it after each one cools. Just do another blob. It's important to make it cool. If it gets too hot, it will blow through. And that happens. So yeah, I've got to do that all the way around there, on the second row as well, and then all down there, and this side we'll come back to in a bit. One thing I've just learnt, and one thing I'd like to make a point of, is that when you're doing a long run like this, is that because I've got a thin strip, the strip's bending and going in. So it's important between your tacks, which are the original, that's one of the original tacks, when you're doing a run, make sure you've got a tack on the top, or try and probably weld both at the same time maybe, which is what I'm going to do here, and that will stop both panels deflecting. I've welded up to here, and then I'm going to slit this off here, and then blend that in like that. But it's not the ideal way of doing this, but it is what it is now. I can't, you can take metal off, but you can't put it on. So the next stage now is I've gone over with the grinding disc, which is here. Big thick disc, get all the high points off, and then now I'm using the flappy disc to smoothen it off. But I found, that's hot, I found places where I've missed, so I'll just have to go over them again afterwards. Here we are for now. Got it all ground back, even giving it a bit of a clean look. If you look underneath, I don't know if I showed you this before, you can see how I've spotted through there, and there for the welding of the underside, and I've also just gone around the jacking point as well. But overall, seems to be alright. About to paint it now. So I reckon a red oxide primer and a stone chip black on the top. And here we are all painted up. It's painted in black stone chip. I've gone to about the door shut line there, and painted underneath as well. And I've also gone around with the wax oil on the inside, and I've also gone around the rear suspension arms with old engine oil to give it some form of rust protection.